Hello and welcome to the jungle garden in Denmark. This is such a beautiful sunny morning, so I thought I'll just make a quick summer video. You never know when the weather changes again. We have unfortunately had to put up a little fence around all the beds because those two puppies are now 8 months old and they have turned out to be real Houdinis. They can get out of anything, and then they charge around the garden and they don't care. Dig up things and they eat everything, and so now we've put up this little fence. Not that it will stop them if they really want to get in, but it will buy us enough time to come and get them before they make too much damage. So it's just temporary, I hope. One of the disadvantages with that fence is that it gets really hard to get rid of all the weeds here at the edge of the bed. I have to work something out. This year, Zantedeschia white giant has been so beautiful. It has been flowering like mad, and at one stage it had 6 flowers at once. And at last, the 2 oldest of our Treeferns has put out some new fronds. They didn't start till the middle of June. That was really strange. I have some upcoming projects, and among them is this bush, Deer Villa. It was originally planted because I just wanted to have something that was already established in the garden, because the more jungly plants took a bit longer, and I was still buying plants back then. But it has sort of outgrown its space. It takes over everything, and apparently it spreads with shoots from the root just like a bamboo. Not as aggressively as a bamboo though. But I've decided to dig it up, split it up, and give it to friends instead. And then I've already got something in mind I would like to plant instead of that one. Even though it's not the best time of year to dig up plants and plant some new stuff, but then we'll just have to be clever with the garden hose. As you can see, there is actually a variegated Fatsia japonica down here, and it just hasn't got a chance because that bush is overtaking everything. So it is time for it to go. And here's another bush that has outstayed its welcome. I think it's called Sorbusabaria Sem or something like that. I'll put it on the screen. But anyway, it's really a nice little bush with those white flowers. They are almost done flowering now. And all the new shoots in spring are pink or pinkish. And then the leaves sort of turn into a silvery color. I don't know if you probably can't see it. They probably have already turned green. But anyway, it's just overtaking everything. I've got things in there that I can't see anymore, so it has to go. And like the other one, I've decided to dig it up, divide it, and give it to friends with a warning, so they know that they're getting a bush that wants to go places in the world. Then there is this poor Bootia. It has been overtaken by a persicaria. I know I can just pull it up, but I don't think that Bootia is in the right spot anyway. Too little sun, So I've got some other plans for that as well. Then there is the grass bed, and don't just close your eyes and don't see all the weeds, please. There just hasn't been time. But this grass bed just doesn't work. I've decided to change it completely. All the brown grasses will be dug up. It's Carex bronze form, and they will be put in the Australian bed because there are already lots of them in that bed. And the green ones, Stipa gigantea and whatever, I can't remember the other one, they'll go out in the grass meadow. And then I'll just have a gravel bed because I've got some plants that would fit in nicely here. And that bootia I talked about before, I'll move that to this spot because it's very sunny, and that'll be just right for that palm tree, I think. Even though it hasn't got anything to do with the jungle garden, I promised last year to give an update on our nature area. And this is the flower meadow, and this turned out really well. We've had lots of blue and purple flowers, and now it's going into red with all the poppies, and it's really pretty. We also have loads of thistles, especially around the waterhole, but I can show that later on. And we are in the process of digging them up, and I say we, my husband is digging them up. I'm not so good at digging these days. And the flower meadow is already attracting hundreds of insects, and that was the purpose with it, so that's good. Luckily the insects love the thistles, so there's plenty of food for them. And this is the grass meadow, but the grass was already here from when we had the horses here. So it is doing very well. And this is our little waterhole. As you can see, we've got a lot of lovely thistles around it that my husband is trying to dig up. And he has succeeded in this end of the waterhole, but it's a lot of work. I don't know where they came from. We didn't plant them for sure. This is a waterhole for amphibians, not for fish. So it's for frogs, newts, and then the dark patch in the middle is an area where the water is a bit deeper. The reason why the water looks like it's got a yellowish, greenish color is because the bottom of the waterhole is made out of lime oils, I suppose you call it, because that's what we've got in the underground here. Once you have passed the top layer of fertile soil, you get down to this white stuff. So that's what we had to use, because we didn't want to have the fertile stuff down here. That would be too much algae growth. But it has turned out quite nice, I think. And we'll just have to see what happens in the future. And this is the entrance to the forest, I suppose you can call it, one day. And as you can see, all the trees are planted directly in the grass. And even though the grass is almost taller than the trees, they're doing quite well, surprisingly well. Most of the trees have been doing well. We have lost a few, and we'll have to replace them when we get to autumn. But most of them are doing surprisingly well, considering they have been planted into grass. And when we made the flower meadow, we took away the topsoil again because it's too fertile for plants like this. And it was mounted up here at the end. And then we've sown some grasses belonging to the area. I don't know how much of that grass has come up because there were grass seeds in the soil already, but it doesn't matter. The result is the same, and it's supposed to be a good place to live if you're a small animal like small mice and that sort of thing. When they get older, the puppies can come out here and roam around, but not now. It's too dangerous. They'll rip out every tree they can find. But the cats love being out here. And this was all for now. Thanks for watching.